Yeah, because this cord then will be all over the place and I'll have to move things. Oh, it's way too much effort. Oh, that was just not worth it. Yeah, I can reach it. Okay.
Do you want me to tell you?
No. Tell me if they're wrong, like, after I name a box, because I have to do them one at a time, obviously. Okay. So at the end of the box, tell me if one of them is wrong.
Do you know what your incentive names are?
Oh, no.
Alright, I will hit you up with those. Now, how many characters do you have for character?
7.
Alright, we gotta choose between Kip, Snip,
or one word.
Or Kip, no, it's Kip Snip. K-I-P-S-N-I-P.
What's the capitals? Okay.
It's Kipples Nipples.
Okay. Kip Snip.
I'll write this down.
Yes, write them down. This will be more helpful. I really should have figured out how this run actually works so I could talk about how it works.
Oh, you figure it out.
I'll figure it out as I go. Thank you. Kip Snip. Adelaide Uni. Oh, that's good. That's good. The run's not starting. The run's not starting. I'm just trying to figure out how to type in Kip Snip. No, the run's not starting. Not starting. Okay, all right. So I want to explain something before the run starts. So I'm actually going to need a specific trainer ID for this run to work. And so most runners would use like a metronome timer and have that running to try and count down exactly when to start the game so that they can try and get the exact trainer ID that they want. But I don't have that luxury. Instead, I'm just gonna feel when it's gonna come. I'm just gonna feel the trainer ID. All right. So the ID I'm trying to get is 55774. So as soon as the run starts, I'll check my trainer ID and we'll see what we've got. So I probably shouldn't actually talk about what's going to happen in the run until I actually get the ID. but hopefully I can get it fairly simply, and it won't be too much trouble. All right, name as donated. Oh yeah, you can do that whenever you want. Kipsnip. All right. Five, 774. Too good.
Hey, you got it.
Yep, too easy. Okay, so Pokemon Gold. If you know anything about Pokemon runs, you will know that one of the killer points of the run is getting a starter that has very good stats. In this case, I'm going to take the first stats that I can get. I'm just going to run with anything, so we just better hope that they're good. Basically, in pretty much every generation except 2 nowadays, it doesn't make that much difference because you can, in Generation 3, you can predict how the stats are going to be. In Generation 4 and 5, you can manipulate, and in Generation 1 and 6, you don't use the starter for very long anyway. But in Generation 2, it is still very pivotal. I could save here, but honestly, we'll just get a good Totodile. Everything will be fine. The only thing I'm really concerned about is I really want this to be a male. As long as it's a male, which it is. You can see that over in the nickname. Oh, I was supposed to name that Spud. Oh, God. Yes. Okay. I'm not gonna reset, too bad. I'll name something else Spud. I've got to catch another Pokemon, so it's all fine. It's all good. Okay, Totodile comes equipped with a berry, and a berry is actually a really important item for later on in the game. I probably should take it off right now, just in case. Yeah, and I just went into this. Alright, take it off now. Because I don't want my health to drop below half, and then the berry to get used. I want to keep the berry for later on. So yeah, obviously another key point of Pokemon runs having good times versus bad times is the amount of encounters you get, and I just got none on Route 29, which is incredibly good. It's also pretty bad because I actually want to be taking out some encounters for some extra experience here. Just gonna duck into the mart, buy some potions, because it's quicker to do this than to pick up a bunch of potions on the ground. Because I don't know how good my stats are, it's going to be a pretty decent play to get to level 6 before the rival fight, unless I just get no encounters, which is what's happening right now. Oh my god. Alright, there we go. There we go. It's all over. Reset now. It's a Metapod. If this is level 5, it's level 4. I really don't want to take this out. It'd give 41 experience, and I want at least 42. So it's a really bad amount. And killing a Metapod does take a really long time because it's spamming Harden. If it was a level 5, I would have taken it because it would give me as much as I need. All right, level 4 Pidgey, so any other level 2 will do it from here. I would have rathered to get all the experience before I get to Mr. Pokemon's house here because he heals me for free. But I'll take whatever I'm given. I suppose I can't complain with getting a low encounter rate at the start of the game. Alright, so I mentioned before that I wanted a male, which might have sounded a bit odd. But, so the way stats, well, the randomness of stats in this game is determined is by the DVs, which, if you're familiar with, I guess, like competitive Pokemon or breeding or anything, you would know the term IVs, which is a number between 0 and 31, which determines how good a stat is. 31 being good, obviously, and 0 being rubbish. In this game, DVs are essentially exactly the same thing, except they only go to 15 instead of 31. But because you can trade between Generation 2 and Generation 1, they had to come up with a way to determine what the gender of a Pokemon from Generation 1, which didn't have that function, in Generation 2 would be. And they decided the best way to do that was to use the attack DV of the Pokemon and use it in exact ratio to the Pokemon species. So because Totodile all starters have a 1 in 8 chance of being female, if you get a female, it has the bottom 1 in 8 attack DVs, which means its attack DV would be 0 or 1. So all females are worse than males in this game. And attack is going to be the most important stat. Alright, level 3 Caterpie, I'll take this out, and it'll get me to level 6. Caterpie is a nice poke to get here because it isn't normal type, so its tackle only does 2 damage instead of 3. Check my stats here at level 6. Let's see what we've got. That is good attack, good speed, pretty alright special, good enough for this run, and absolutely terrible defense, which makes me very, very happy that I took that extra level, because if I went with poor defense without getting that extra experience.
Yeah, TV's breaking.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
It was picking up and feeding back through the lapels.
I would be in big trouble later on in the run if I had not taken that experience.
Dead.
But anyway, okay, rival fight. AI of this guy is pretty annoying. He generally leads with Growl, and obviously that makes the fight slower because I'll be doing less damage. But I got Tackle, that's really nice. This run's actually gone really nicely so far. And I'll be able to 4-hit here. So you might have been questioning why I picked Totodile if you've never seen runs of this game before. You should pretty easily be able to rule out Chikorita as an option. Totodile and Cyndaquil is close. The reason Totodile wins, though, is because of the move he learns here at level 7, Rage. Rage in this game works, it's pretty OP. Basically, it has like its own attack modifier. So if you use Rage, the way it's supposed to work is you get hit by an attack, it boosts the power of Rage, and you use it again, it does more damage, etc., etc. So Rage, it starts off at 20 power, so you would expect if it worked the same as other attack modifiers, that, so the way like general attack modifiers work is, if you get +1, you do 150%, +2, 200, +3, 250, etc., etc. But once you get hit once after a Rage, you start doing like more than double damage. Okay, I gotta remember this one. Adelaide Uni. Where is N? Well done. Quality, alright. I'm surprised I remembered 2 out of 3. That's very impressive. Okay, I've got to remember to nickname the Pokemon that I catch though. Yeah, so early on in the game, when your only other option is like Scratch, etc., Rage, it's effectively doing like 20 and then 40 and then like 70 power, etc., and then 100. So for a lot of pokes, it is your only option to get through at a lower level. If I chose Cyndaquil, I would have to take a few extra levels before going to the first gym. Okay, so I need a Pokemon that can learn Cut. That's the only Pokemon that I've got to catch, something that can learn Cut, and there's really 2 options for this. The first one is a Sentret that can show up on this route here, Route 29, and the other one is a Bellsprout. That is a Pidgey, that is not a Sentret. I would rather catch a Sentret because a Bellsprout is a bit more dangerous because they all have Vine Whip, and Vine Whip does do a decent amount of damage to me. That is a Sentret. Alright, so I'll hit this once and then start chucking balls. I don't want to hit this twice because if I use another Scratch and it crits, then it'll die. And also because Sentrets actually have a chance of holding a berry in the wild. And so that would just activate and I would look like a fool and nothing would happen. Alright, got it. Not too bad. Second try. Fun quirk about Gen 2. When you have a Pokemon like Centric, for example, which has the highest catch rate of 255, it actually makes no difference whether you throw a Pokeball or a Great Ball or an Ultra Ball at it. They all have the same amount, the same chance of catching it, because Gen 2 is made very, very well. Okay, so there's pretty much nothing else I have to do out of the ordinary up to this point. Now I'm just gonna blitz through a few fights with Rage and hope I don't get too many encounters on the way there. It'll still help if I encounter a Bellsprout, because later on in the run I'm going to need to hear either Bellsprout or Machop's cry. So encountering a Bellsprout and just being able to flag it in the Pokedex will help, because then I won't have to fight a trainer with a Machop, or potentially a trainer with a Bellsprout, depending on what I decide to do. I haven't really fleshed out what I'm gonna do. Just do it all on the fly. Okay, so yeah, for pretty much every trainer, after this point I'm gonna be using Rage until I get Water Gun, which is not until level 13, because Rage is just too good. So like right now I'm at Rage 1. Scratch, which is 40 power, would not 2-hit this Rattata, but Rage at Rage +1 will 2-hit this Rattata right here. Oh, maybe it won't. That was a really bad damage roll, and he didn't use Tackle, but it still did. Alright, never mind then. Get to level 8. Those stats are fine. Good thing I got to level 8 though. So the other thing in Gen 2 especially is the spinners, so trainers that spin around in random patterns. This is the first one coming up here. Our good friend Don. And so you just kind of, I'm gonna pause a few times and just hope they don't turn in your direction when you try and go past them. Pausing the game doesn't actually make them, it makes them stop while the game's paused, so essentially all it's doing is it's making your reaction time perfect. And nothing else. Alright, so now I can encounter a Bellsprout, which would be really handy in the wild here. That's a Pidgey. Okay, I have 19 health. If this Spiro... The Spiro generally does 6 damage, and if I get some good damage rolls, I'll kill it in 3 hits. So it'll do 18, and I'll live with 1. So I'm not going to heal. Everything will be fine. So just picking up that Bitterberry there, because I'm going to be fighting a lot of Zubats, and they all have Supersonic, so that'll clear the confusion once. Likely that I'll get confused 3 or 4 times, but clearing one of them is worth it. Okay, so I don't want to save where it isn't necessary, but what I am going to do is I'm going to just flag the center here like this. So if something unexpected happens and I die, I go back to that center instead of having to backtrack all the way through the grass, because that would just be absolutely awful. Okay, so Spiro. So this guy is, he's like the hardest fight of the gym, and he's one of the reasons why you go with Totodile. Level 9 Spiro with Peck, he does a lot of damage if you're not prepared, and he's actually the main reason why I took that extra experience from the first 2 wild encounters. Because being level 8 for him instead of level 7 is quite handy. Alright, please don't do 7. Good boy. He could have done 7 there. Good ranges, very good, very good. Solid. Yeah, that wasn't guaranteed to kill. That was a really risky play, but got away with it, so all good. Heal up here. I'm going to equip the Bitterberry here, even though there's nothing here that's going to confuse me, simply because I'm already in the menu doing a heal, so I may as well equip it here, because it is possible that I will get to the first Zubat before doing another menu, and so I don't want to go into my menu for no reason at all. Alright, this fight will be pretty standard. If I had bad speed, both these Pidgeys have 13 speed. If I had bad speed, I would have exactly the same. I would have 13, and it would be really bad because, say, when you have the same speed, it's just a coin flip on who goes first. And so, because I'm using Rage, that can be compounded and be really bad. Say I lose the first flip, so he uses Tackle, then I use Rage. Then I win the next flip, use Rage, and then he uses Tackle. And so my first two Rages just do no damage because it hasn't been built up at all. So really happy with how good this Totodile is. 16 health. I'm gonna have to heal before Faulkner because he does 18 if everything goes standardly. But at least by going low enough that I have to heal, there's absolutely no chance I can die to Faulkner now. Because despite Faulkner having Mud Slap, he always uses Tackle from Pidgey and Gust from Pidgeotto against me. I might skip the heal in Violet. Yeah, I think I might, depending on what my health is, and just do a regular potion. Normally I would heal after this fight, because I'd be on like 2 HP, get my HP back and also get my Rage PP back. But because I have high experience, and I'm going to get some more experience, I'm not going to use Rage because I'm going to get Water Gun a bit early. So I think I should be fine on that account. And oh, nice crit. I'm going to switch to using Scratch here to finish off Pidgeotto instead of Rage, because it'll skip the text box where it says Rage is building. Just minor optimization there. Yeah, Potion will take me to full. I'll definitely skip the center. Okay, so what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to pick up the egg. I'm still going to go into the center because I have to pick up the egg. And then I'm going to do something that, if you haven't seen this run, is going to look really, really, really weird. I'm going to start naming my boxes. And I'm going to name my boxes to what is going to look like absolute gibberish, but it's going to have to be incredibly precise, actually, and is very specific. Okay, grab the egg. All right, let's see how I go here. Okay. I think that was good. I think that was good. Yes, I have my good friend JRP here as a spotter, who has what the correct box names are, and he's just given me the nod, so it should all be good. If one of them is wrong, then this is not going to be a fun time, and the game is just going to crash endlessly. Alright, so I'm looking for a Bellsprout. I want a Bellsprout to show up. Give me a Bellsprout. That is a Rattata. That is a Rattata. Wow, this Rattata has good speed. Wow. So in case you aren't aware, the way escaping from Pokemon in this game, well, all Pokemon games work, is if they have the same or higher speed is the only way that you won't be able to escape. Having a level 8 Rattata outspeed me is a little bit embarrassing. But not much I can do about that. At least it didn't attack me. I was supposed to heal, and I didn't. Oh well. I probably won't die in this fight. I've got the Bitter Berry equipped, so this Zubat here. Unless he hits me with 2 Supersonics in a row, I should be fine. Alright, good. Got a miss. I'm safe. Dang, there goes the Bitter Berry. That is not good. Alright, so I learned Water Gun at level 13, and I'm currently level 12. Going into Union Cave there would be a Spinner, which you saw there random to pass, and he has an Onix, and Onix has Gargantuan defense, in case you weren't aware. So killing him with that Water Gun would be awful. And if I manage to get past him, the next trainer has 3 Geodudes, which I can kill the 3 Geodudes with Rage reasonably quickly, but obviously doing so with Water Gun would be faster. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to fight an extra trainer simply for experience. I'm going to fight this guy with Goldeen right here, and he's going to take me to level 13, so I can learn Water Gun. That experience is also going to help later on for all the other fights, because obviously I'm going to be slightly higher leveled. This Goldeen also has Supersonic, so not great that my Bitter Berry's already gone. Oh, fun. We're going to have a lot of fun right now. Alright, got through. Better to use Leer and then scratch this guy, because he has only 1 out of 3 attacking moves, having Supersonic and Tail Whip. The way confusion damage in this game works, by the way, is it's your attack attacking your defense. So if I hit myself right now, I am going to do so much damage, and it is not going to be great. Okay. Still alive. No worries. All good. Okay. If I hit myself now, I'm dead, though. Alright, good. Nothing to be worried about here. Nothing to be worried about at all. By the way, in case you're wondering, that Goldeen had 19 speed, and I had 18. So not great. It is possible to both tie and outspeed that Goldeen with better speed, but my speed was only good, not great. Okay, so I didn't encounter a Bellsprout, so instead I'm going to have to fight that guy with the Machop, which I haven't actually tested this strat works, and someone told me it works like an hour before this run. It's quite possible he has pulled the most epic ruse of Pokemon speedrunning history, and I am about to look like a complete fool for what will be well over an hour, but hopefully that isn't the case. So this was the Spinner I was talking about. This guy does spin, don't you worry about that. He's just currently stuck in the one direction I do not want him to be stuck. Spinners, the way they work is, oh geez, I forget the exact numbers, but basically they can be like looking in a direction for like a certain amount of frames until they decide they want to move away and choose a different direction. And the amount of frames is, it's something like, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc., up to 32, and then 255. So they effectively look like they're just getting stuck. Well, it's not 255 frames, it's way more than that. But basically they're stuck there looking for like 9 seconds, and it sucks. I'm gonna have to heal before the Machop, otherwise Machop might kill me. So I may as well do that as I pass the second Spinner in this cave. So yeah, if I used Rage on this fight, it would have taken 9 turns, but using Water Gun it takes 3. So even though that Goldeen took, 6 turns, it's about the same, and it's gonna be a lot safer. And if I didn't have Water Gun before that first spinner, I would have saved in front of him, because if I'd hit him, there was a high chance that Onyx would have killed me. Okay. And the spinner got me. Alright, I am going to be so over-leveled because I'm going to be fighting so many extra trainers. Alright, so this guy's just got a couple of cuffings. No big deal. Nice crit, that saved me a turn. Okay, use that potion to heal up. Dang, I'm running really low on potions. As in, I'm actually completely fine. But I buy 5 when really you should only ever need like 2. And I'm already down to 1, which means I've used a lot. And taken a fair amount of damage. Based on the fact that, well, that Goldeen fight happened, and I took a lot of damage there. But also I have really poor defense, which is also why that confusion damage did so much. My defense stat is... my DB is either 0 or 1 in defense. So same kind of thing that I was talking about there. I used Scratch to finish off that Vulpix instead of Water Gun, even though Water Gun would do more damage, because I knew Scratch would kill, and Scratch is not super effective, so it just saves a text box. I still led with Water Gun, however, because if it did crit turn 1, Water Gun would have killed, whereas Scratch wouldn't. So this was the guy I was talking about with the Machop. Just fight this guy, get Machop's Pokedex entry. Oh my god, I might get a level 18 before Bugsy and evolve before Bugsy. That would be really funny. I'm like more than 2 levels extra from what you can be here. This is a ridiculous amount of experience. All right. It's all part of my plan. Oh, wow. What a unfriendly old man. Okay, I forgot to flag the center. I'll just do that on the way back. Having flashbacks to Pokemon Stadium minigames. Okay. Buy a few super potions. Escape rope. A few repels. Antidotes. I'm also gonna get, well, I may as well get 2 Paralyze Heals. I only ever need 1. Because I've got some extra money, I normally wouldn't buy a Paralyze Heal, but because I've got so much extra money and experience, I'm actually going to fight a different trainer. I should repel before I go in here. I'm also going to Super Potion. I did flag the center, right? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, so this place, depending on how good your stats are, it can be, for a lot of the Pokemon here, advantageous to use either Scratch or Water Gun. Like if you have really high attack but really poor special, Scratch will do a lot more. But because I'm such a high level, both of them are easily going to do over half to all of these pokes. So I'm just going to use Scratch because I can just mash A and use Scratch. That was not a good Rattata. Tail Whip into Quick Attack is the worst thing he can do. And 2 attacks from that Rattata as well. Took a bad amount of damage there, not a good fight. Another small optimization I guess I could explain is I'm walking up to these trainers and talking to them instead of going through their line of sight. That's simply because it avoids the exclamation point and the time it takes for them to run to you, so it's just slightly faster to do that. If I didn't use a repel in Slowpoke well, however, I probably would run in front of these trainers, simply because it would minimize the amount of steps I could get an encounter in here. It's actually on average faster to not use a repel in here, but because I had to take the menu anyway, thank God that missed. And I had the money to buy the repel, I just thought, hey, why not? We'll use another one, it's all fine. Leer miss. Alright, this is a really good fight so far. Wow, another Leer. Alright, that fight went pretty much perfectly, outside of me getting criticals. Took no damage. Yeah, pretty much the key point is just not getting confused by these Zubats. They're definitely the most punishing thing in Slowpoke World, and not having the Bitter Berry means I'm very scared of them, obviously. Tail Whip fail. No Quick Attack, good. I guess I should explain that as well. Tail Whip is not supposed to fail. In Generation 1 and 2, when enemies use status moves, they can just miss for whatever reason. They just have like a, I forget what it is, like 1 in 4 chance of just not working at all. So even moves like Thunder Wave, which if you're familiar with, you would know definitely has 100% accuracy, can fail if used by an opponent Pokemon in the early games. The exception to this rule is, remarkably, Confusion. Confuse Ray never misses, and Supersonic still has the correct accuracy, which is very, very fun. Alright, level 17 for Coughing. I wonder if I can 3-hit with Water Gun here. I don't think so, because my special isn't great, but I guess we'll see. Damage is not directly outputted as well just by stats. Your level has an actual much greater impact on the amount of damage that you do. Going from level 16 to 17, however, does not do much, which is why me being 17 does not really make that much of a difference to this Coughing. Yeah, that's going to be a 4-hit. Basically, every time your level increases to a number that ends in 0, 3, 5, or 8, you get a damage boost to all of your attacks. So going from 17 to 18 is significant, but 16 to 17 is very insignificant. If he had used Smog and poisoned me, I would have had to heal during that fight, so good thing I got all tackles there. And I get healed for free directly after this fight. Even though it looks like nothing happens, I just get healed. Just roll with it. So Generation 2 doesn't have double battles, but they do have twins as a trainer class, which you might think is a bit weird and completely pointless, but it's not entirely pointless. These twins actually send out a different Pokemon as their lead depending on who you talk to. So if I'd faced the one on the left, these twins have a Spinarak and a Ladybug. The Spinarak would come out first, but by going on the right, the Ladybug comes out first. And the reason I do that is because Spinarak has 2 speed drop moves, String Shot and Scary Face, and I do not want to be slower than this Ladybug. Very nice critical to 1 hit, because the Ladybug has Supersonic, and I would rather run the risk of just getting Supersonicked and only giving it 1 chance to confuse me than to let this Spinarak hit me with Scary Face, hitting this Poison Sting anyway. Okay. Good stuff. Now you can go right or left in this gym. If I did not have any extra experience, I would go right, but I am going to go left. This trainer has a Paris. the Paris is a bit more dangerous than the one on the right who has a Caterpie and a Weedle, but if it goes well, this fight is faster. The reason the Paris is more dangerous is because it has both Stun Spore and Poison Powder. Stun Spore being the more dangerous of the two, because normally I wouldn't have anything to cure paralysis, but I had enough money for a Paralyze heal, so I bought one anyway. And scratch. I'm not gonna get 3 hit. Close, but needs to go. And as I suggested might happen, I am level 18 before Bugsy, which means I'm going to evolve before Bugsy, which is definitely not supposed to happen. Lots of extra experiences put that into practice. Oh, but that's fine, it might save me a turn on Bugsy. Might take a bit less damage. Another reason why going left is advantageous is I only have to pass this spinner here once instead of having to pass the spinner twice. I'm gonna equip the Paralyzed Cure now. That's actually for the rival fight. Use the antidote. And got hit anyway. Wonderful, because I just needed way more experience. Alright. This is just nothing but time loss. This experience is just completely and utterly pointless at this stage. So there aren't really too many fights left in the run anyway. Nothing I can do about that though. It's not a huge deal. Just beat him up, bad boy Benny. Move on. It's probably not worth using Rage on this Beedrill, but I'm going to do it anyway just because it's really cool. Because this Beedrill uses Fury Attack, and Rage gets boosted every time I get hit by Fury Attack. So you can see how much that first Rage did. It did like, 15% of its health. This one, I assure you, is going to kill it. See you later, Beedrill. Oh my god, level 19 before Bugsy. This is the most embarrassing run of my entire life. Okay, Bugsy is exactly the same as a lot of the fights you've seen before, because Scyther, Scythe is his last poke, and it has quite good stats for this point in the game. I'm going to build up Rage before Scyther comes out, and then to hit the Scyther with Rage. Unlikely this Metapod's going to lead with Tackle, usually uses Harden or String Shot, but then he generally switches to using Tackle. It's just the way the AI in this game works. Well, for most of the fights that you see. The first turn, they're highly inclined to use non-attacking moves, and then they're highly inclined to use attacking moves after that point. Okay, hopefully I get Hardened, good. Just didn't want to see Poison Sting and get poisoned, just would have been a bit of time loss. And because I'm so high leveled and evolved, I'm definitely going to 2-hit this Scyther anyway. Okay, so I equipped the Paralyze Cure before. That's exclusively for the Rival's Ghastly, because the Rival's Ghastly has Lick, and if I got paralyzed by that Lick, I could end up in an endless cycle of continuously getting paralyzed by the Lick, trying to cure myself of paralysis, and that would not be fun at all. And then I could potentially run out of Paralyze heals, and then it'll all be over. But because I 2-hit the Ghastly by equipping the Paralyze Cure Berry, I can't be set into that loop, because it'll heal itself without having to waste a turn. And it's actually very fortunate here that Bugsy does give you Fury Cutter, because coming up here, Rival 2, the final boss and hardest fight of this run by a considerable distance, would be not impossible, but very, very, very difficult without Fury Cutter. I'm going to teach that to Croconaw. While I'm here, I'll just heal up. Use a Repel, because I'm going to enter the forest after here. And then Fury Cutter. Yeah, Croconaw can learn Fury Cutter, but Totodile can't, so you obviously have to evolve before this point. Totodile would struggle with Bayleaf anyway. because Chikorita is such an awful starter, they decided to give Chikorita Razor Leaf early on in the run, which is much more powerful than the other special moves that the other starters would get. But it's so bad against everything else, it doesn't really matter. The only thing it's good against is the opposing starter Pokemon. So Bayleaf ends up being really, really powerful in this situation. But I'm level 20, so I won't die to 2 Razor Leaf, so I should be fine. There's Lick, and there's Paralysis. That's why I got the berry. Okay, and so now I'm going to use Fury Cutter on Bayleaf. Fury Cutter, it's a bit broken in this game as well. It much more than doubles the amount of damage that you would be doing. And see, Bayleaf just used Reflect, and so you're expecting Reflect to double its defense, but it doesn't actually work like that at all. Instead, I just kind of break through with the Reflect, and it's only applied to the first Fury Cutter. All the additional damage just goes on, and so it barely has any effect whatsoever. Game's weird. There's also, because I beat Bugsy, me using bug-type moves has an additional power boost as well, which some people might not know. That's exclusive to Gen 2 as well. Fun Supersonic. As well as getting an attack boost from beating Faulkner. So you get boost to both your stats and to the type moves in Generation 2. Croconaw going to try and learn Bite. I do not want Bite. I could have taught Bite to kill, there's only one more fight left in this run that I'm going to do, and it's going to be 2 Slowpokes. I could have taught Bite to kill those 2 things, but I actually need Croconaw to have a really specific set of moves. So teaching Bite is not an option. Small thing about this little maze here, where I'm going to rescue Farfetch'd. In a vacuum, it's actually faster to do this maze by, once I talk to this Farfetch'd, going all the way around and talking to it from above. It completes the puzzle about 1.5 seconds faster. But instead, I'm going to talk to him from below and do it like this. Now, the reason I do that is because it takes less steps, and my repel is already running. Now, it doesn't actually save me a repel to do this. However, what it does do is it makes it so that the first 100 steps of the first repel I used just makes it to when I pick up Cut, so that I can use the second repel and teach Cut in the same menu. It's going to wear off 1 tile after this. And by saving that menu, it makes it all in all faster to do that. All right. So I could teach Cut to Croconaw, but as I explained earlier, I want Croconaw to have a specific set of moves. It can work with Cut, but it can mess it up, and I don't want that to happen. So teach it to Sentret. Faster to teach it to Sentret anyway, because Sentret has free move slots, so it doesn't have to delete a move. But that's why I have to catch a Pokemon that can learn Cut. Catching a Pidgey would not have been an optimal idea. Okay, so now we're coming up to the home stretch of this run, which might seem a bit weird because I don't look like I'm about to finish the run at it anyway whatsoever, but I am. Because I'm about to get to Goldenrod City, and Goldenrod City has the absolute most busted item in the game, and that's what I'm heading straight for, and that item is the coin case. And the coin case, you might be thinking, that doesn't make any sense that that would be busted, but it is. The reason the coin case is so busted is because basically there was a nice NPCs have been very unfriendly to me this run. There was a translation between the Japanese and English versions where basically where they had where the script for telling you how many coins you have in your coin case was supposed to end was put in a different position in the text. And so basically it doesn't finish reading what it's supposed to when you use the coin case. And so usually that doesn't really mean anything because if you don't set up the game to in a very specific manner, unlikely that it's going to find anything interesting. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect the code that the game is reading into the box names that I set earlier, and that's going to do a few interesting things. A few very interesting things. But to do that, I had to, so I'm going to equip this berry here. That's part of the setup as well. Having a berry on Croconor is going to be a really consistent way to clear the carry, just to make sure the game doesn't crash. The game could still crash, by the way. I'm going to save here before picking up what is going to be a Spiro, just in case. There's like a 1 in 3 chance that if I have bad DVs on my egg, that this is not going to work and the game's going to crash. So if that's the case, I'm going to have to substitute this Spiro for that position. So I'm saving before I pick it up because it's not guaranteed that that's going to work either. So in case the game crashes, I'm going to reset, get the Spiro, and then keep trying the Spiro until it works. So okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do is going to go in here, move up here, flash the menu, go over here, then I'm going to switch my position. I'm going to move him here. Yep, that's fine. No, that's not what we're going to do. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to find the Machop. Then we're going to play Machop's Cry. Very, very important that I play Machop's Cry. Yep, good. Then I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to use the coin case. Oh, the game crashed. Wonderful. All right, unlucky. Now I'm going to have to try with the Spiro. Also, by the way, the colors are correct, and very, very correct.
Red, green, blue.
Okay, so the 3 things that this is supposed to do is, A, it's going to, so what did I want? I want him here. I don't think it matters where the egg is, but I'll move it over there anyway. Yeah, so it's going to remove all my Pokemon from my party, and it's going to warp me. It's going to make red appear at Mount Silver, because red's not normally at Mount Silver. Oh, that's another crash. Oh, this is really fun. And it really, really looks like I'm being rused right now by this Machop working, doesn't it? Oh man. Oh man, we could be here for a long time before I realize that I've been rused. Yeah, so it's going to make red appear at Mount Steel. It's going to flag that to happen because he's usually only there after you beat the Elite Four, and it's going to warp me to Mount Steel. So eliminating all of your Pokemon in your party might seem like a really weird decision to make because how am I going to beat red? But the way this game works is it handles... basically, if you have no Pokemon in your party, the game's just kind of assuming that you've used a Game Shark to hack the game, and it doesn't want you to be fighting Pokemon when you're cheating, so it just makes the fight end instantly, but it also gives you a win, so that'll be interesting if I get there, ever. Okay, it didn't crash. Here we go, here we go, and there's red, and I beat the game. Finish.
Such a good ending.
These credits are a bit more buggy than usual as well. They're just a bit slower than they're supposed to be.
I love the chat. That red flag was so intense.
And I guess to take us out on that beautiful credits music, we have one more donation from VDA Killjoy. One more donation before the day's break. Thanks for the great runs. 2 nights in a row, Werster. Looking forward to more over the weekend. And indeed, you'll be able to see more runs over the weekend on this Twitch channel and our second one, Oz Speedrun Marathon 2.
37 hours from now.
From Saturday morning onwards, just Sunday evening, afternoon. Lots of games, lots of good times. You can check out all of those links below this Twitch channel if you want to follow that up. And for now, I guess we're just watching this madness.
You're never supposed to be able to see that text, by the way, because you can't actually get to a PC by normal means without having a Pokemon. I can show you. That was a random battle.
Did you win?
I won. I won very convincingly.
How much did your Pokemon level?
They're too high. They're not getting any more levels. But yeah, I would be trapped at this point because I have no Pokemon and I have no way to get Pokemon because I can't encounter Pokemon. So I'm completely screwed. But I beat the game, so it's all good.
Yeah,
All right, that's it.
That's fine.
Cheers, man.
Soft to hear again. Yeah.
You didn't miss any. You got them all right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
Yes,
how to
I
end.
figured when I completed the
It's
game.
weird 'cause we're not really ending. Like, we're legit not ending. We are coming back. But this little leg is all over Red Rover.
I'm surprised that was 48 even. I hit so many spinners.
Yeah, 37 hours from now,
Twice, 48 is
we're going to be back
solid enough time.
with some more action. In the meantime, while everyone's here, I'd like to thank the uni for hosting us, because we're not coming back, so it's probably a good time to thank now. All the crew for yeah, I thank the uni for hosting. As I said, we're not coming back, so good times any. All the runners who were just here for the first legs. I know there are a bunch of people who are buggering off, and I understand that, of course. And we're very thankful that you've come down for this, because obviously it's first pass just as important as the second. Got to get there somehow. Who else? Yeah, the student crew. I know there were a couple of people who were here like for most of the night. Everyone did a bit of hosting. That was really appreciative because I could take a couple of breaks every now and then. Whoever brought that beanbag in, thank you, because I think I got a bit of sleep on that. And that was that was some pretty bad sleep, but it was sleep. And yeah, everyone who's watched, chatted, donated, brought us excitement and things to do during the day. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm not going to do a big thing because, as I said, we're not done. We're not actually done.
We
So-
can't sleep.
Yeah. No, I'm getting AFCON late. I'm sleeping. Go away.
An entire day.
Yeah. No, I'm getting like 11 a.m. I booked the loading dock for 11 a.m.
Yeah, my
Bugger
job
off,
is to
I'm-
be awake when you can't be.
Yeah, I'm sleeping. Go away. I've been awake for too long. Anyway. So yeah, so we're going to be coming at you, yeah, in 30, 36, 37 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. just have to wait for now.
So we killing it?
Kill it.